Hello, movie lovers. It's Bob. Yep. Friday afternoon. And it's time for the video of what I have watched this week in movies. There's a few of you out there that want to know what I watched. And thank you very much. And now I will tell you what I watched. I didn't watch that many, never watched that many hockey games and TV shows and, going places, doing things and whatever. But I did watch a few, and hopefully I got them all written down or wrote down or whatever. And whatever I did. I hope I don't forget any, because every once in a while in the blue moon I come across one and go, oh, I watched that this week and I forgot to put it on. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen. Anyway, let's get on with the movies. This video is not going to be very long, so you'll be able to watch it and get back to doing what you were doing. So, one of the movies I watched this week is 1931's, I think it was 31, The Public Enemy. Can you see it, or you gotta turn the light on? The Public Enemy. And this one is it would probably be in my top 100 movies that I like. Top 100. This would be definitely in top 100 somewhere. I wouldn't know, but it's in there. Anyway, but a lot of you know this movie, of course. Public Enemy. James Cagney, Mae Clark. He gets to push the grapefruit in her face, and she didn't know that was going to happen because the director told Jimmy Cagney she doesn't know. So when you push it in her face, she's going to react. And he did push it in her face, and she was quite surprised. Anyway, Jimmy Cagney, The Public Enemy, Bob gives it an 8 out of 10. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Get on to the next one. A walk among the tombstones. Liam Neeson. I think this is from 2000. And what is this from? 2000. Well, not too long ago. What, 2014, 15, something like that. I can't see the year on it because I don't have my glasses on. I do that all the time. Anyway, this movie, he's I guess a private detective, right? And somebody comes up to him, sitting in a restaurant, and says, my brother wants to see you. And who's your brother? Anyway, his brother's a drug dealer, this guy's brother that's talking to him in the restaurant. Goes out to see this guy's brother, and this guy's brother tells him that his wife is missing. A couple of people kidnapped her and he wants her back. But, no, wait a minute, I got ahead of myself. She's actually dead, and he's telling me and Nielsen he wants to find out who did it, who actually kidnapped her, and after took his money and killed his wife. So Liam says, well, he doesn't really do that, but one thing leads to another, as I say, Reader's Digest version. And he ends up trying to find out how this lady got kidnapped and killed. Anyway, and somebody else gets kidnapped, and they're after him. He goes and sees them. Similar. So these couple of guys, dumb nuts, and his brother, right, are kidnapping people. Mostly from people that sell drugs, so they really can't tell the cops, you know what I mean? It's one of those movies. You don't tell the cops, don't get the cops involved. So he does turn around to help the guy and help the other guy, and gets to the bottom of who's kidnapping wives, girlfriends, etc. It's not a bad movie. It's one you can watch, nothing wrong with it. A little action there. A few people get shot, stuff like that. Not too bad. It's not really too violent. It's a good story. I give it a 7 out of 10. So, it's okay. You can watch it. Good 7 out of 10. So let's put this one over here. All right. Let's get on to the ones I watched on TV. Where am I? All right, one I watched on Crave, which is Rogers here in Toronto. The other one I watched on TCM, and the other one I watched on Netflix. So see, I watched 5 movies this week. Hopefully that's all. It seems like I watched more, but right now, as far as I know, that's what I watched. Why do I think I watched more? I don't know. Anyway, I watched this movie's on Crave on Rogers Movie Channel. It's called The Belko Experiment. Movie's out in 2016, I think it was. And it's these people work in a big office building in Columbia. There's 80 people in this building. And it's called the Belko Corporation, right? And they're all working. Everybody's drinking coffee, telling each other to bugger off, and you're looking at me, stop looking at me. Stuff like that, right? And you're harassing me, just a regular office type thing, right? And then all of a sudden, things start happening, like weird things. The windows start closing, the walls start shutting up. All the windows shut, locked up. All these metal walls are up. They're all wondering what the hell is going on. Anyway, a voice comes over the intercom. They think it's a joke, right? Start laughing and think it's funny. They're told that there's 80 employees in here. They all have to kill each other. Could only be one survivor. Well, that's at the end of the movie, they tell them. I'm getting ahead of myself as I normally do. But anyway, the boy says, there's 80 people in here, and there's 30 people have to die within the next 2 hours. So they're all looking at each other going, what, they're all getting kind of like, wow. So, what's happening here, right? They're all going a little nuts, all right, getting scared and shitless and all that stuff. So they run up to the top of the roof, right, and start looking around, yelling at people. There's no one around this place. This place is out in the middle of nowhere, right? So the next thing you know, bang, 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 bang. People are falling like they got shot in the head, right? And people are always screaming and yelling and everything, right? So yeah, and the next thing you know, they find out they got this thing implanted in their head, right? Because that's what they got when they started working there. They got this implant, right, for, who you are and all this stuff that have to do with where you work at. And they, so they all got implanted. But anyway, the voice comes back on and says, we're going to kill you all if you don't, do what we tell you to do. So one thing leads to another. What happens, right? A lot of people figure out, I guess we're going to have to kill some people there. And they start going around killing people. So they got to kill 30 people. So they go around, start, lining people up against the wall, the old guys, the old ladies, and all the old people. And anyway, one thing leads to another, and through the whole goddamn movie, they're shooting and killing each other. It's a bloodbath. People getting shot in the head, clubbed, stabbed, beat over the head with a baseball bat. I watched the movie and I think, well, I only watched that one once. I'm never going to watch that movie again. I mean, I didn't really know what it was about. In a roundabout way, it's like, okay, but, I really would not, put it this way, would not recommend this movie to people. It's a nasty movie, right? I mean, I don't know, people getting shot and stabbed and friggin', it's a really bad movie, and, blood everywhere, and brains blowing out, and all kinds of stuff. It's like, hey, and I watched it. I don't mind watching movies, but this one was a little over the top. So, I mean, I started watching it. I watched the whole friggin' thing, but at the end I'm sitting there going, wow, that's a bad movie. I wouldn't watch that one again. How could you say, I didn't really like it, put it that way. I never liked it. I'm not even going to recommend it or give it I'm not even going to rate it. So if you want to watch the Belko Experiment, if you ever come across it, go ahead at your own, what's that word? At your own peril. Pearl? All right, on with the next movie. This next one's simple. Return of the Fly. Yes, 1959's Vincent Price movie, the black and white movie. The first movie, it was in color. The second movie, they downplayed it. There was no money. There was hardly any money for this movie. They kind of backed away on the money. This movie played on a double bill, along with some movie called The Crocodile, or some crocodile eating people or something like that. Anyway, Return of the Fly, Vincent Price. There was no people from the first movie in the second movie, The Fly, other than Vincent Price. So, anyway, starts off with, they're burying the mom in the graveyard and stuff. And then the son is a lot older. He's not like 6 or 8. He's like 25 or something. Not that Vincent Price aged too much. He looked pretty well like the Vincent Price that was in the last movie. But anyway, that's beside the point. So, they want to experiment. He wants to pick up where his dad left off. And one thing leads to another. He's with a buddy. Friend of his is helping him. And they're downstairs in the basement. They're downstairs in the basement or some basement. Was it their house? The original house? I think so. Anyway, they start experimenting, putting guinea pigs in the machine and sending them up and bringing them back. So anyway, that guy's buddies that's helping him is wanted by the police. So overall, I really think the Fly, the second one, this one here, is a little bit better than the original Fly. The original Fly kind of took a long time to get going, right? To get story-wise going. This one kind of picks up right off the back with the story and starts telling you things and letting you know what's going on. And so it's a very interesting story. I liked it. I thought it was all right, Return of the Fly. As far as I know, there's another movie, something about the Fly, another movie in this series. I don't think Vincent Price was in that one. I don't even know anything about that one. But so I give it a 7. The Return of the Fly, 1959, with Vincent Price. It's a good 7. Good story. Good special effects, too, for that matter. Yeah. Yeah, and you even get the guy at the end of the movie, you see him walking around with a big, gigantic fly head. Am I spoiling the movie for you? I'm sorry. He's even got a fly foot or leg or whatever the fuck that is. Oh, shouldn't swear, this is a children's program. Anyway, and the last one I watched was on Netflix. Right, Dave? Got to get the money's worth out of this, right? Got to watch Netflix sometimes. Make it worthwhile. Anyway, I watched Solo. Solo, Star Wars, right? Solo movie. And I watched that, and it was a lot of fun. Story how he started and people that he met. And best part about this movie is, what's her name? The young lady that's from Game of Thrones. She's in it. I thought she stole the movie for some reason. She kind of, I don't know what you call it, stood out, I guess? Is that the right word? She kind of stood out. She was above everybody else for some reason. So I thought it was not a bad movie, but all these Star Wars movies now in the last few years, right? They're like, come on, I like Star Wars. I went and seen the first Star Wars movie in 1977 when it first came out. Yeah, and there wasn't lineups then. You could walk in, get a ticket, go get your popcorn and sit down. There were no lineups then. That came later. But anyway, get back to Solo. I thought it was all right. Nothing great. Really good special effects, of course. Oh, most of the time, special effects are really good. But the Solo movie was okay. I could probably watch it again sometime, maybe next year or 2 years from now. But I give it a 7 out of 10. It's an okay movie, but it gets a 7 out of 10. So there you go, people. And the first, the 6 Star Wars movies, the first 3, of course, are, the originals one, right? They're all great. I like them all. 3 of them. I can't, there's no knock. I can't find, you want to nitpick, yeah, but the first 3 movies are the best. The other 3 movies that came out, years later, right? They're what's that word? Oh hum. They were okay. Liam Neeson's in that one too, some of them, but I thought they were okay. Nothing spectacular, but they were okay. And the rest of these Star Wars movies, they're okay too. Nothing to write home about, but they're okay. A lot of people like Star Wars, so I'm not knocking the Star Wars movies whatsoever, but solo Netflix, 7 out of 10. And that's it. And now tomorrow, which is Saturday, I get to travel to Scarborough, which is up the road, an hour from here. Go on the subway bus, another bus, and all that stuff. I'm going up for dinner. I'm invited for dinner. And the only thing about tomorrow, it's supposed to be snowing here. And it's supposed to be really friggin' cold. And the wind is supposed to be blowing and howling, and it's supposed to be a bad day. So hopefully, it's all right to get up there. Right now, I'm going. But who knows what's tomorrow going to bring, right? But as far as I know, I'm going. And I think I might get a ride back home. And I'm going with Kelly and Christine, my 2 daughters. And we're going to a friend's house that I've known for a long time. 40 years, probably. I knew her mother, Tina. And it's Kathy, and she's cooking dinner. So we're going up their house. We've been invited. So away I go. Hi-ho, hi-ho. All right, movie lovers. Talk to you next week. And keep watching those movies. Have a good weekend.